So, when you think about the music business, what comes to mind? Probably flashy stars, big concerts, maybe a high stakes gamble on the next big hit. Well, what if I told you the real story today isn't about gambling at all? It's about being a landlord. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on Universal Music Group, and you'll see why this company is less of a hit factory and more like an untouchable fortress of culture. Right, so this is the central question we're asking. Has the music business secretly transformed from this crazy high-stakes casino into one of the most stable, predictable business models you could possibly imagine? We're about to unpack how owning our collective memory, our nostalgia, has become the new name of the game. But to really get just how revolutionary this whole thing is, we've got to first step back in time into what we're calling the old hit factory. See, for decades, the music industry was basically a casino. It was a place where labels spent fortunes just chasing that one diamond in the rough, that one chart-topping song. And here you can see the difference, side by side. The old way was a total crapshoot. You'd pour millions into an artist, hoping, just hoping, for that one-time sale of a CD or a record. You never knew what would hit. But the new way, it flips that script completely. It's low risk because it's built on a library of proven classics. It generates recurring revenue, and it is incredibly predictable. So what caused this massive earthquake? Well, it was one simple but incredibly powerful idea: streaming. The move to services like Spotify and Apple Music didn't just change how we listen to music. It completely rewired the financial engine of the entire industry. And I mean, the scale of this rewiring is just staggering. Look at this. Physical sales, CDs and records, which were once the absolute lifeblood of the industry, well, they've been completely dwarfed by the steady, reliable cash flow from streaming royalties. The game just isn't about selling a physical product anymore. And this is the most crucial point to understand. We've moved from a world where they were selling you a product to a world where they're renting you access. Think about it. With your monthly subscription, you're not actually buying anyone's song. You're just paying for access to this enormous library. And the people who own that library, they just get to collect the rent. Which, of course, brings us to the main character in our story. In this new world of renting access to music, who is the biggest landlord on the entire planet? Well, meet Universal Music Group. Just let that number sink in for a second. 1/3. That workout playlist you love, that iconic song from your favorite movie, that classic hit you hear on the radio all the time, there is a 1 in 3 chance that Universal Music Group owns it. The scale is it's almost impossible to wrap your head around. And we're not talking about B-sides and obscure tracks here. This 1/3 is an absolutely unbeatable roster of some of the most important artists in history. I mean, you've got foundational legends like the Beatles and Bob Dylan, all the way up to modern-day titans like Taylor Swift and Drake. It's a catalog that literally defines generations of music. Okay, so we've established they own a massive slice of our culture. But what makes that ownership so uniquely valuable right now? This is where we get to the real core idea, the secret sauce of this whole thing. The key here is a concept called an intangible asset, or intellectual property, IP for short. A song isn't a physical thing like a factory or a piece of equipment. It's an idea, a melody, a recording, and the copyright to that recording is the asset. And it's an unbelievably valuable one. The source material for our explainer describes this perfectly. It calls this music library, and I quote, an asset that is forever. I mean, just think about that. A car rusts, a building needs repairs, but a great song never degrades. It never, ever wears out. So why is it forever? What's the protective moat around this asset? Well, it's actually pretty simple. As the source points out, humans don't really fall in love with computer-generated noise. We connect emotionally, deeply with music. These songs are the soundtracks to our first dates, our road trips, our biggest life moments. And that human connection, that gives them a durability that technology just can't replicate. So let's start pulling all of these threads together. What does this all mean for Universal Music Group as a business? Well, it means they have built something truly, truly unique in the modern world. This is the ultimate takeaway. This is the phrase that says it all. By owning the soundtrack to our lives, UMG has effectively secured a perpetual royalty on human culture. Every time someone, somewhere in the world, feels joy or sadness or nostalgia and presses play on a song they love, UMG is probably collecting a tiny fee. And that happens billions of times a day. So the new business model is it's beautifully simple. Step one, own a massive, irreplaceable catalog of timeless music. Step two, license that catalog to every single streaming platform out there. And step three, just sit back and collect that predictable, recurring revenue, month after month, year after year. It's genius. And that leaves us with one final, really powerful question to think about. In a world that is just flooded with disposable, forgettable content, is owning a piece of timeless human culture the most valuable, the ultimate asset of all? It's something to chew on. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.